Chapter 1. Finding the Treasure Map. Tom was a 10-year-old boy. He loved adventures. Tom lived in a small village. The village was quiet with green hills, tall trees and a river nearby. Many birds and animals lived there too. It was a beautiful place. Tom lived with his family. His mother, Mrs. Brown, was kind and always smiling. She liked to bake cookies and cakes. His father, Mr. Brown, worked in the fields. He loved to tell Tom stories about pirates and treasure. Tom also had a little sister named Lily. She was 5 years old. Lily liked to play with her toys, but sometimes she followed Tom everywhere. One sunny morning, Tom woke up early. He finished his breakfast quickly. "Where are you going, Tom?" his mum asked. "I want to look in the old storage room," Tom said. "Be careful, it's dusty there," his mum said. Tom nodded and ran outside. The storage room was next to the house. It was full of old things. There were dusty boxes, old chairs and broken tools. Tom liked this place because it felt like a secret world. As Tom looked around, he saw something unusual. A small wooden box was under an old blanket. "What's this?" Tom said to himself. He pulled the box out and opened it. Inside, he found a piece of paper. It was rolled up and tied with a red ribbon. Tom untied the ribbon and opened the paper. It was a map. The paper was old and yellow. There were lines, trees, and an X on it. At the top, it said, "Treasure Map." "A treasure map," Tom said loudly. His eyes were big with excitement. Tom ran to the kitchen to show his mother. "Mum, look what I found," he said. His mum wiped her hands and looked at the paper. "What is this?" she asked. "It's a treasure map," Tom said. "Can I follow it?" His mum laughed.
No.
"Maybe it's just an old drawing, but you can have fun with it." Tom nodded. He believed the map was real. He wanted to find the treasure. Tom decided to show the map to his friends. First, he rode his bike to Sara's house. Sara was Tom's best friend. She was very smart and liked puzzles. When Tom arrived, Sara was sitting in her garden, reading a book. "Hi, Tom," she said. "Hi, Sara. Look at this," Tom said, holding up the map. Sara looked at it carefully. "Where did you get this?" she asked. "I found it in the storage room," Tom said. Sara smiled. "Do you think it's a real treasure map?" "I don't know, but I want to find out," Tom said. Sara stood up. "Let's show it to Jack. He will love this." Jack was their other friend. He was funny and always wanted to try new things. The two friends rode their bikes to Jack's house. Jack was in the backyard, playing with his dog. "Jack, look what we found," Tom shouted. Jack ran to them. "What is it?" "It's a treasure map," Sara said. Jack's eyes grew wide. "Really? A treasure map?" "Yes," Tom said. "Do you want to help us find it?" "Of course," Jack said. "This'll be amazing." The three friends sat under a tree and looked at the map. They saw pictures of hills, trees, and a river. "There's an X here," Sara said. "That's where the treasure is," Jack said. "But where is this place?" Tom asked. "It looks like the forest near our village," Sara said. Tom nodded. "We should go there this weekend." "Yes," Jack said. "We need to get ready. We'll need a backpack, snacks, and maybe a flashlight." "Don't forget the map," Sara said, laughing. Tom smiled. He was happy to have friends like Sara and Jack. This was going to be a great adventure. Chapter 2. Preparing for the adventure. The next day, Tom, Sara and Jack met under the big tree in the village park. Tom brought the treasure map with him. Sara had her notebook and a pencil. Jack carried a bag of snacks because he was always hungry. "Okay," Tom said, spreading the map on the ground. We need to make a plan. Sara looked at the map. The X is here, near the river. I think we need to walk through the forest to get there. Jack nodded. But how far is it? Will it take all day? Tom shrugged. I don't know, but we'll find out. Sara smiled. We need to be ready. What should we bring? Tom thought for a moment. We need the map, of course. And we should bring food, water, and a flashlight. And a rope, Jack said. What if we need to climb something? That's a good idea, Sara said. She wrote everything in her notebook. Tom looked excited. We can go on Saturday. That's only 3 days away. Jack grinned. I can't wait. This'll be so much fun. Telling their families. When Tom went home, he told his mother about their plan. Mum, can I go to the forest with Sara and Jack on Saturday? He asked. His mother looked worried. The forest? It's big and sometimes dangerous. You need to be careful. I know, Mum. We'll stay together and we'll bring everything we need, Tom said. After thinking for a moment, his mother nodded. Okay, but come back before it gets dark. I promise, Tom said. Sara and Jack also told their families. At first, Sara's mum was unsure, but Sara explained the plan. We're looking for treasure. It's going to be safe, and we'll stay together, Sara said. Her mum laughed. A treasure hunt. That sounds exciting. Just don't get lost. Jack's parents trusted him because he was strong and careful. Just don't eat all your snacks at once, his dad joked. Packing the bags. On Friday evening, the friends prepared their bags. Tom packed the map, a flashlight, and some sandwiches his mum made. He also brought a small bottle of water. Sarah packed a notebook, a pencil, and her favourite book, just in case they needed to wait somewhere. She also brought apples and cookies. Jack's bag was full of snacks, chips, chocolate bars, and a big sandwich. He also packed a rope and a small towel. They were ready. The night before. That night, Tom couldn't sleep. He lay in bed, thinking about the treasure. What will it look like? He whispered to himself. Gold coins? Jewels? Maybe it's something even better. He looked at the map one more time before closing his eyes. Tomorrow will be the best day ever, he thought. Saturday morning. On Saturday morning, the sun was shining brightly. Tom, Sara, and Jack met at the edge of the forest. Are you ready? Tom asked. Yes, Sara and Jack said together. Tom opened the map. Okay, the X is near the river. We'll follow the path through the forest and then find the treasure. The adventure was about to begin. Chapter 3. The Journey Through the Forest. The forest was quiet and full of tall trees. Birds were singing and the sunlight came through the leaves. The friends walked along a small path. This place is so pretty, Sara said, looking at the flowers by the path. Tom nodded. It is, but we need to stay focused. The map says we need to cross a river soon. Jack looked around. I hope the river isn't too deep. They walked for about an hour. Sometimes they stopped to rest or drink water. Jack ate one of his sandwiches. Jack, you eat so much, Sara said, laughing. I'm hungry, Jack replied with a big smile. Crossing the river. Finally, they reached the river. The water was clear and shiny under the sun. It was not very deep, but there were no bridges. How do we cross? Sara asked. Tom looked around. There are some big rocks in the water. We can step on them to get across. I'll go first, Jack said. He stepped onto the first rock, then the second, but on the third rock he slipped. Ah! Jack shouted as he fell into the water. Sara and Tom laughed. Are you okay, Jack? Tom asked. Jack stood up. He was wet but smiling. I'm fine. The water isn't cold. One by one, they crossed the river. Jack was already wet, so he helped Sara and Tom by holding their hands. Next time I'll be more careful, Jack said, shaking water from his clothes. Finding the right path. After the river, they looked at the map again. There were two paths in front of them. One went to the left and the other went to the right. Which way should we go? Sara asked. Tom studied the map. I think it's the left path. It looks like the X is closer to the left side. They started walking on the left path. But after a while, they saw a big tree that had fallen across the road. Oh no, Sara said. What do we do now? Jack smiled. We can climb over it. They all climbed over the tree. It was a little difficult, but they worked together. Sara helped Tom with his backpack, and Jack pushed Sara up. We're a good team, Tom said. A new friend. As they walked, Sara saw something move in the bushes. What was that? She asked. The friend stopped. Suddenly, a small rabbit jumped out of the bushes. It had brown fur and long ears. It's so cute, Sara said, kneeling down. The rabbit didn't run away. It looked at them and twitched its nose. I think it likes us, Jack said. Tom smiled. Maybe it wants to help us find the treasure. The rabbit started hopping down the path. Should we follow it? Sara asked. Why not? Tom said. The rabbit led them further into the forest. It stopped near a big rock and twitched its nose again. The friends felt more excited than ever. Chapter 4. Clues and Teamwork. The forest grew denser as Tom, Sara and Jack followed the map. The rabbit still hopped ahead of them, stopping every few minutes to twitch its nose and wait. Tom checked the map again. We're getting close to the first clue, he said. The map says to look for a tree with 3 big branches. The first clue. After walking a bit further, Sara pointed. Look, that tree has 3 big branches. The tree was tall and old. Its 3 large branches stretched out like arms. What do we do now? Jack asked. Tom walked around the tree. The map says to dig under the tree. Maybe there's something there. Jack picked up a stick. I'll help. Together, they dug into the dirt. After a few minutes, Sara's hand hit something hard. I found it, she shouted. It was a small wooden box. Tom opened it carefully. Inside was a piece of paper with strange drawings on it. What does it mean? Sara asked. Tom studied the paper. It's a clue. It says to follow the stones with the blue marks. They looked around and saw small rocks on the ground. Some of them had blue paint marks. This is exciting, Jack said. Let's follow the rocks. A funny moment. As they walked, the blue-marked stones led them to a muddy area. The ground was soft and wet. Be careful, Sara warned. The mud looks slippery. Jack laughed. I'm not afraid of a little mud. But as soon as he took a step, He slipped and fell face first into the mud. "Jack!" Sara and Tom shouted, but they couldn't stop laughing. Jack sat up, his face and clothes covered in mud. "This is not funny," he said, but he started laughing too. Sara helped him stand up. "You're okay, right?" Jack nodded. "Yeah, but I think I need to fall into the river again. I need to bath." The three of them laughed so hard again. "You are so funny, Jack," Sara said. They helped Jack clean his clothes and continued walking. The second clue? After the muddy adventure, they followed the stones to a clearing in the forest. In the middle of the clearing was a large rock with strange symbols carved into it. "This must be the next clue," Tom said. Sara touched the rock. "It feels so old. What do the symbols mean?" Tom pointed to one symbol that looked like a key. "I think we need to find something that fits this shape. Maybe a key?" Jack looked around the clearing. "Let's check under the rock." The three of them pushed the rock together. It was heavy, but they worked as a team. Underneath, they found a small, rusty key. Sara picked it up. "This must be it!" Tom smiled. "Good job, everyone. Now, let's see where this key takes us." Working together. As they continued their journey, the friends talked about their adventure. "I'm glad we're doing this together," Tom said. "It would be boring alone." "Oh," Jack nodded. "Yeah, and I wouldn't have anyone to laugh at my mud fall." Sara laughed. "And we wouldn't have found the key without all of us working together." Tom looked at the map again. "We're close now. The treasure must be near." The friends felt excited, but also a little nervous. What would they find? Chapter 5. The Hidden Cave. The map led Tom, Sara and Jack deeper into the forest. They walked carefully, following the blue stones and looking for more clues. Tom stopped and pointed to the map. "The next clue says to find a cave. It's not far from here." Jack looked around. "I hope the cave is not scary." Sara laughed. "Don't worry, Jack. We have a flashlight, and we're all together." After walking for some time, they saw a dark opening in the side of a hill. "This must be the cave," Tom said, feeling excited. The entrance was small, but they could all fit inside. The cave was dark and the air was cool. Sara turned on the flashlight. "Let's be brave and see what's inside." Jack hesitated. "Okay, but I'm staying close to you." The rabbit, still following them, hopped into the cave too. Inside the cave, the walls were covered in strange marks. "Look at this," Tom said, pointing to a drawing of a box with a keyhole. "That's it," Sara said. "We have the key from the rock. The treasure must be here." They followed the drawings on the wall deeper into the cave. The rabbit hopped ahead, leading the way. Soon, they saw something in the corner of the cave. It was an old wooden box with metal corners. Jack gasped. "This is it! The treasure!" Tom knelt beside the box. "Let's open it." He took the rusty key from Sara and placed it in the keyhole. The key turned with a loud click, and the box opened. Inside, they saw old books, a small silver cup, and a beautiful golden necklace. "This is amazing," Sara said. "These things look very old." Tom picked up one of the books. The pages were yellow, and the words were written in fancy handwriting. "These are not just things, they're part of history," Tom said. "We can't keep this. It's too important." Jack frowned. "But we worked so hard to find it. Don't we deserve to keep something?" Tom shook his head. "This treasure doesn't belong to us. It belongs to everyone. We should take it to a museum." Sara nodded. "Tom is right. A museum can keep it safe and show it to other people." Jack thought for a moment. "Okay, you're right. It's better to share this treasure with the world." The friends smiled at each other. They had worked as a team, solved puzzles, and found the treasure. But the most important part was learning to do what was right. As they left the cave, the rabbit followed them back to the forest. "Even the rabbit helped us," Jack said, laughing. Tom smiled. "This was the best adventure ever. And we did it together," Sara added. "Yes, and we're doing something good by sharing the treasure." The sun was setting as they walked home. The friends felt proud of their decision and excited to tell their families about their adventure. Chapter 6. A Treasure for Everyone. Tom, Sara, and Jack returned to Tom's house with the treasure. The wooden box was heavy, but they took turns carrying it. "This treasure is special," Sara said. "We should tell everyone." Tom nodded. "Let's show it to my parents first. They'll know what to do." Tom's parents were sitting in the living room. When the children brought the treasure box inside, they stood up in surprise. "Tom, what is that?" his mum asked. "We found it in the forest," Clom explained. "It's very old. Look." He opened the box carefully. His mum and dad looked inside and gasped. "These are amazing," Tom's dad said. "The books and necklace look very old, and this silver cup, it's beautiful. We think it belongs to history," Sara said. Tom's mum smiled. "You are right. This treasure is not just for one person. It should be shared with everyone." The next day, Tom's family called the local museum. The museum director, Mr. Carter, came to their house. "This is incredible," Mr. Carter said, examining the items. "These books and objects are very old. They tell a story about the past." Tom, Sara, and Jack explained how they found the treasure. "You children did something wonderful," Mr. Carter said. "You found this treasure and decided to share it. That is very kind." Jack smiled. "It was hard to decide, but we knew it was the right thing to do." A week later, the museum organized a small ceremony to display the treasure. Many people from the village came to see it. The children stood proudly next to the glass case holding the books, necklace, and cup. Above the case was a sign: "The Lost Treasure, found by Tom, Sara, and Jack." "This is amazing," Sara said. "So many people are here." Jack laughed. "And everyone knows our names now." Mr. Carter gave a short speech. "These children remind us that doing the right thing is the best treasure of all. They didn't keep this for themselves. They shared it with everyone. We thank them for their kindness and teamwork." The crowd clapped loudly. Tom, Sara, and Jack smiled proudly. That evening, the children sat on Tom's porch. "I'll never forget this adventure," Tom said. "Me neither," Sara agreed. "We found a treasure, but we also learned something important." Jack nodded. "Sharing feels good. I'm really happy." Tom's mum brought out lemonade and cookies. You three did something amazing. As the sun set, the friends laughed and talked about their next adventure. They knew they would always be a great team.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the story. Please consider liking and sharing it with your friends. Your feedback and support are invaluable in helping us improve and continue bringing you great content. We truly appreciate your help.